It just said prepare for the questions that we'll have to do for the project. I think that's all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Use the PowerPoint, then work on writing close-end survey questions. So. All right.
Did everyone get a chance to read through the Braun case?
Yeah. So we need to create like questions for like related to the bread, like kind of like we did for the first project.
Yeah, so that I think that's individual preparation for next week, which I'm sure either way as a group or individually it helps in all manners. But where's that? That's under the start here.
So yeah, it just says
preparation.
Just says, yeah, so we don't have to really discuss too much. We can work on that next week.
Yeah.
So the case studies, I think, what we're supposed to talk about.
Yeah. So in the Braun case study, there's 4 questions, and that goes apart, like John and I were talking about with our individual post one another. So we were thinking if we just review those 4 questions, talk about the case real quick, we'll call it a night, and then jump back on the discussion and write our answers to those 4 questions just as backup.
But we still needed to answer, like submit our answers individually over there, right? Or we should submit as a group, just one answer as a group?
No, we have to do it individually.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Perfect. So,
hey, Nate.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. Good to see you.
Good.
How you feeling, man? You doing better?
Yeah. It was very unexpected, and so it was just last minute trying to get everything going together. So again, I apologize for missing out last week.
No, you're good, man. I'm sorry that happened. Those kind of things are not fun to be a part of, but
I appreciate it.
We're sorry about that.
I appreciate you guys being very understanding and stuff like that for me. So
yeah.
Oh, no problem. We have a good group, and so everybody's here to back each other up for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're about to discuss the Braun case. If you didn't hear it, and just review the 4 questions, and then after our group, we'll go on and we'll post individually for those 4 questions as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what the professor is seeking for. So basically, a little backup about the Braun case. I thought it was interesting that the toothbrush, this mechanical toothbrush, the Oral-B, was invented like way back in the 40s and 50s and taken advantage of in the 60s and 70s. I thought that this thing kind of just came about in the early 2000s because that's when I first got mine or thought it was popular. But I don't know. I thought it was something unique about the background.
I really want to see what a toothbrush looked like back in the day because they were saying like, oh, the soft bristled toothbrush came around at a certain time, and so I wonder like how brushes were back in the day.
When you say back in the day, how far back are you talking? Because
I'm talking like the 40s and 50s and stuff like that.
Okay. Like, boy, I'm starting to feel old. You guys are talking about back in the day.
Don't worry, I'm old too, so not as old as some of you, but I'm still old.
Well, I remember my parents having a water pick, and that was in the 70s.
Right. I think my parents still have a water pick, actually.
Awesome.
Like, we're supposed to have one, yeah.
I don't think I used it for what it was supposed to be used for.
Well, when I was reading through, I found it interesting. I was like, man, some of these toothbrushes look like they'd be really effective. Why don't they make them this way anymore?
I remember reading it says like one of these toothbrushes goes at 4,020 rotations per minute, or something like. Holy cow, that's a lot.
Yeah. That could do some good damage right there.
Yeah, no kidding.
So the first question says, how does this company develop products? What are advantages and disadvantages of this approach? So from what I noticed, the way they're developing is one approach, they saw the opportunity from another company and they kind of just bought companies out. The companies became part of one big company. And then they use their R&D, their research and development departments to expound upon that approach to kind of like mess around and see if it would actually be a success for the plaque on the tooth. What did you guys think on the developed product? How they develop the products?
I thought it was interesting. Like it's, I can't remember where, but the main lady, I can't remember what her name either. And she said, like, are we just developing another Me Too project or product? And so I thought that was interesting because they did just like a copy of the ones they already did. It wasn't really innovative and new. I wasn't sure if she wanted them to do product or because it already had some good traction. They just stayed with what they had.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch like any of that.
I'm sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Okay. Sorry, I just said that the main lady, she seemed like they were going to do another Me Too project is what she called it. And so I wasn't sure if she liked replicating or, developing something they've already done or if she wished they were more innovative with their products.
That makes sense because later in the case, it talked about how they shot it over to Europe and they kind of jump-started while this company was hoping that it would still have the industry, a part of the U.S., to be able to keep their market in Europe. So from what I saw, there was a lot of innovative, like stealing thoughts kind of thing.
I also think one thing I noticed too is when they talked about, even though she'd only been out of business school for maybe 2-3 years, I think. A lot of her ideas were hard for them to digest because, she was kind of on fire and just that new way of thinking. I think they really kind of struggled with it first. Then I think they finally saw the light of what she was proposing, and I thought that was good. Unfortunately, I don't think it says anything about it was called what, the DC-5? Is that what it was, the last one?
Yeah.
And they never really finished that. Is that correct? Or did I not read it right?
No, that's right.
Yeah, they ended it.
Yeah, because it was still like 2 years out, and the inner plaques or whatever was already out on the market and producing well. So
yeah, it's kind of the factor that the other product jumped up there so quick, and you can't wait around for something so technical. Like it won't. Somebody's there. I heard something once that like when you think you're the first person to think of that certain subject or thing, think again, because so many other people like have a creative mind to find a different route or a different way of that same thought.
Well, that kind of goes to the next question. What does it take to create genuine innovation? It seems like it takes a lot of time and resources.
I think also identifying what went wrong with the first project, because they said that one of the early toothbrush that they launched, it was abrasive to the gums. So like to create an innovative product, like make sure like that all the defects that happened before are fixed. I think can be part of that.
That's a good point.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah. I think
I
part
think
of.
that-
Go
I think
ahead,
when-
Nick.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think when it comes to being like innovative, like you just have to. I think you have to kind of do some self-reflection on your own life and see like what do I use a lot of, and how can I make that better. Is just because I was just before this I was watching the YouTube video thing, and they were trying to see like they weren't trying to kill any brands, they were trying to keep all their brands alive, and so you have to just see like what people are using and how you can turn what they're using even better for them.
Yep, I agree with that. I think part of that was the customer base, right? And knowing what their customer wanted. I think that was, what was their value proposition and what were they doing to fulfill that need. And that's part of being innovative. You have to be willing to go out and give them something to do and test, and then get that feedback and then make it happen. If you just sit back hoping that what you have works for the next 25 years, still be sitting 25 years in the past.
Yeah, that's what I put for my answers. I think you just have to find a need, and you either address it or make it better, like it's already out there. And then you really have to know who your target market is and really do your research and your background and like really find out what they need, and then do research again on how to do that, and then be willing to change it up if it's not working. I also think like a big part of it is like you have to listen to like mentors and have other people out there that have been in the industry or whatever it means, and kind of like not try to fly solo but get a lot of thoughts on it. And research is huge. I don't think you should just jump right into it and just figure it out as you go, because it'll cost you a lot of money and a lot of time. You just really have to do your research before you sit down, and then you have a rough draft, and then you get feedback, and then you work on it, and then you have your next draft and your final draft. So get there.
Honestly, if I were to answer question 3, I would put research, like you said, that's the biggest part of research. Be able to develop the process or bring the culture. And one thing in this case that it talked about was that Braun only knew how to shave, like the shaving products. They didn't know anything about the oral toothpaste or anything straight from ground zero. But what they did to solve that solution and develop the process of research was they sought out experts far wide, and they even like asked for extreme professionals with dental schools, that professors and stuff like that. I guess the last question: does Braun's approach to product development fit with the marketing concept? Define your answer.
So I guess that depends on what part of them. I mean, when it says marketing concept, I guess I was just kind of like, okay, what does that really mean? Did they do the right things? I think they had steps in the right direction. They were just a little slow in making the changes.
Yeah. I mean, if they would have been faster, they would have been able to launch their innovative D5 or whatever product it was called.
Well, and she talked about that one time where they had a booth and the dentists were buying from them and they were paying cash.
Right.
So and they liked having a small booth because it made it seem more crowded and everything. So it seemed like that was kind of part of their marketing concept. So it seemed like they had good traction with it, but then we don't know how they did.
My internet connections it's super bad. Like I can hear half of your say, and then I disconnect, and then comes back. I'm lost here. I'm sorry, guys.
That's okay. We'll post it, and then if you have any questions, you can check out the link again.
We already on the last.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, everybody answered it perfectly, gave tons of explanation. It's all there. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no, I missed that. I couldn't hear much.
Yeah, we missed it all too. It didn't really happen, but
Oh.
So,
we're good.
Victoria, basically, we were just talking how the marketing concept that they have good traction and good focus on their concepts. Like one example was the booth, making it a small booth to bring in more customers and have a clear vision for them to see as a consumer. And so we felt that their product development, the way they were going was good, but they were just a little slow at it.
Yeah, 'cause like they mentioned that once they didn't have much the product.
Oh, she's gone. All right.
Oh, there's she back on. That'd be frustrating. I know what that's like.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can hear you now.
It went out. But yeah, like they said that the competition was big. Every time the time passed, other people was like inventing the same product. So yeah, I agree that they were a little bit slow. But what I like it about their like product development that he focused on building good teams to make the product development. I like that too.
Yeah. Thank you, Victoria. Oh, perfect.
Once I can't find it.
So for next week, if everyone's still good at meeting Wednesday same time, we can jump into our second project and
Yeah, I
don't-
think we need to have questions,
yeah.
at least some questions being written that we want to put on the survey that we're going to have to do.
Okay.
And we're still doing that with our same product, right? Like the Dave Stiller bread.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yes. So I guess everyone just check out those sample questionnaire, PowerPoint, and everything. And do we need to start a Google Doc to put those survey questions on so everyone can review them?
Yeah, we could probably start that. Yeah.
I think that's a good idea. That way we can all look at them
Okay.
and we don't do repeat questions.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. I'll after this I'll send out a Google Doc to everyone.
All right, that works. Thanks for getting this all set up. You're really good at getting the meeting set up and doing the Google Docs, so
Thanks.
makes it less work for the rest of us.
Yeah, you're awesome, Dylan.
As long as we're all happy and working together, right?
That's right.
Cool. All right, guys. I'll catch you next week, and I'll get this posted so then it gives us more support to our professor.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thanks.
Bye.
All right.
Yes.
Bye.